Tom Ford and Ian Burns, the other winners. Ian Burns with a good win there over the shootout champ, Michael Holt. These are the matches tonight. Our main match, Dott against Grace. We've got Tepchara and new Dominic Dale on the Eurosport player. And some very experienced players here. Twice runner-up Matthew Stevens, Ricky Walden, he's been in the semis at the Crucible, Anthony McGill at quarter-finalists there. But also some players there looking to get there for the first time. We'll keep in touch with all the scores as the night goes on. And then at the end of the night we will have 16 players, or rather 32 players, for the final qualifying round. So it's best of 11 frames. Graeme Dott versus David Grace here this evening in Sheffield for a place in the final round of qualifying for the World Snooker Championship. Graeme Dott has got a great record of qualifying. Last time he failed to make it to the Crucible was 2014. He's played there 20 times. Standing in his way is David Grace from Leeds, world number 84. He played at the Crucible in 2017. He lost in the first round to Karen Wilson. He's already happy because Leeds United, of course, have been promoted to the Premier League. He's a big Leeds fan, plays at the Northern Snooker Centre, a venue well known, of course, to another Yorkshireman, Joe Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the first one, the Northern Snooker Centre. The first club that came away from billiard halls, if you like, but had the new name of Snooker Centre, and what a magnificent place it is. And quite a few players play there, so it's not short of good practice, David.
Well, he is a huge snooker fan, obviously terrific snooker player, but just loves the game. He'd be watching if he's not playing. Myself and Joe had a chat with him last night, and he's looking forward to this and just determined, I guess, to play his own game, not worry about who he's playing. We've seen some upsets, and he's had the advantage, of course, of having had a match under his belt.
Yeah, and a good match it was too. 1-6-1 against Hammond Mere. Oh, what a flick.
Oh.
What a flick that was. Wish it had been on the colour now.
Yellow ball.
Yeah, Graeme Dott does have a very good record in qualifying. My only concern for him is that he hasn't played a competitive match since March. 4 months ago, Players' Championship. Didn't play Gibraltar just after that. Didn't play Championship League. So I'm sure he's been practising, but in terms of competitive play, you've got to go back to March, where John Higgins beat him in Southport. And in fact, the last match he actually won was in the semi-finals of the World Grand Prix. That was in February. Beat Tom Ford before running Neil Robertson very close.
Well, it could have been worse. When you have a go at a red and miss it, you expect to leave one on. But nothing easy there for Graeme Dott.
Just to say, because Sonny Akani won his match, we're guaranteed at least one Crucible debutant this year, because Sonny Akani now plays Jamie Clark, and also Martin O'Donnell plays Elliot Slessor. Neither of those two have qualified before. Quite a few other players already through can book their debuts, such as Louis Heathcote, of course. Eden Sharaf's in the final round. Alexander Ursenbacher played so well yesterday.
Magnificent. Made his highest break ever, a 1-4-1.
Jordan Brown as well, and Ian Burns. They look to me to be the possible debutants.
Looking at a possible plant there. Caught it much too thin. That cue ball's coming back down. Be disappointed with that safety. He could have took the plant on, but it was very dangerous. Cue ball was going into the red, so he would have had to have got it. So half chance here for Graeme Dott. they have played once before, and Dott won that one 4-1. It was a European Tour event back in 2013, but they haven't played for 7 years, so it's kind of like starting afresh.
Yes, and since then David Grace has been in the UK Championship semi-finals. Graeme Dott is one of these players who I think pretty much everyone expects to qualify because he seems to get there every year, but it's slightly different, of course, this year, the best of 11s. We've seen some matches that ended up in unexpected results that may possibly have been the other way had the matches been longer. So this is a tough one for him, getting going again, as I say, having not played for a few months. 2006 was the year that he won the title, and of course he was runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan in 2004 and Neil Robertson in 2010. Last year, 8-1 down in the first round of Stuart Bingham and took it to a decider.
Yeah, great fighting qualities, hasn't he, Graeme Dott? You can't take it away from him. They call him the pocket dynamo, but you know, you should call him a bull terrier as well, because he never lets go. I just come a little far for the red. He played for into the left corner, I think, but he's on this one to the middle.
7.
No chance to get the black back on its spot and in play. Yeah, took the risk of going into them, and it's paid off. He's on a red to the left corner
40.
nicely. And there might just be a gap there to get to the black. He just drops it in dead weight. Coming round to have a look at that shot I just described. It's a tricky little positional shot here. If he does play it. Just looking to see where he wants to be in that gap, but look how small that gap is. I think it's worth playing. But he's down there, isn't he, behind the shot.
15.
Has it come far enough? If not, then he may have to play the yellow. Yeah, he hasn't come far enough. Black will go to both pockets, but very tight
70.
position for them in either.
18.
Well, I definitely think that if Dott does qualify, and of course he still needs to win another match after this one, he's one of those you absolutely want to avoid if you're a seed. He's a former world champion for a start. We know what a great season he's had. I mentioned that World Grand Prix, got to the final there. He'd been in the semis of the German Masters just before that. And anyone who's lasted the course at the Crucible, he's always going to be a danger.
3 times as well in the world final. He's had some fantastic matches there.
Yeah, and the long matches definitely suit Graeme. He's spoken about that. That's why in previous years I think he has always come through the qualifiers. Those best of 19s
25.
play to his strengths. This though, of course, a best of 11. So looking to make a good start here.
26.
It just overrun slightly, but he had to make sure that he came far enough to pot the black. And maybe just a little cannon here to the red above the black. I think he played the cannon but missed it. And now I'm faced with a very difficult pot if he takes it on
33.
to the right corner. Good recovery shot.
4.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It may not have been on anything. So at least he had something to go at. Doesn't get in any easier though. If he wants to keep the break going, he's got to play a little screw shot into those 4 reds. Didn't like it, got back up again, recomposing himself. Well, I think this is exactly what he played. He didn't play to go into them.
41.
Played to come round the table for this loose red.
Oh, but he's missed it.
Graeme Dott.
Yeah,
41.
he'll be disappointed with that because he'd kind of done the hard work there. Wasn't too difficult that, but there was pressure on it.
Yes, there's pressure on everybody here. Everyone wants to make it through to the Crucible, but I do think the players coming in, the seeded players, are especially under it. Meanwhile, that's a terrific pot from David Grace, and he's opened up the reds as well.
Blue ball.
Well, I said he was a big snooker fan. When he played there in 2017, he actually took home the little sign on the dressing room door, David Grace,
6.
you know, dressing room A, and he's got it up at home. So that tells you what a fan he is. He's got that little memento, a reminder that he's played at the Crucible.
Wouldn't it like to get there again? Good recovery shot.
7.
Well, he had some extraordinary footage, Joe, didn't he, on his phone when he played you when he was 12 in an exhibition.
Yeah, his dad took the video and he showed us it last night. Yeah, lovely lad. It's not straightforward, this table though. He's got 2 reds that
12.
are easily attainable, but these 3 reds round about the black, well, not quite so easy.
13.
Maybe the one nearest the left corner will go into the right corner pocket. Meanwhile, he's left this the wrong side of the blue slightly. Wasn't a good positional shot that from such an easy red. Now he needs another good recovery.
80.
22 points behind still. Right in the middle.
19.
Excellent shot. Now has he got a little angle on the black? He's having a look to see if this red will go to the right corner. If it does, then it could open up the other 2 into the left corner. Yep, it goes. Just under hit it slightly again. don't think he can hold for the black, so
26.
he may have to go up for the blue, and it's imperative he gets the right side of it this time round. Just looking to see if the reds go. He may be able to play for the black into the corner pocket, but not sure. Well, I expected him to pot that, to be fair, and it could have gone worse for David Grace.
We've had 24 matches in this round, of course 8 more tonight, and of those 24 matches, 11 of the seeded players have lost. Their players ranked 17 to 48, or seeded 17 to 48, so it's quite a lot really, just about half. We'll see how the tally looks at the end of the evening. Oh, that's friendly. Have some of that.
Yeah. Wily old fox, isn't he? All about speed, this. Just needs to land up to it. That was the way to play it. Trying to catch it half ball or quarter ball.
He did drop off the tour actually, but got back on last year through the Challenge Tour. So this is the first year of his 2-year card, David Grace. Just takes a little bit of pressure off that first year. You know you can't drop off whatever else happens. Of course, this afternoon, Ken Doherty was beaten by Mark King, and if he doesn't get a wild card, he's not going to Q School, so that's the end of his professional career after 30 years. And if it is the end, then I think snooker owes him a great debt of thanks for the way he's contributed to the sport, the way he's behaved over the years. I would put him quite seriously up with Steve Davis in terms of what an ambassador he's been for snooker and indeed for Ireland.
Absolutely. A great ambassador. And well liked by everybody. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Ken. And he looks the same now as what he always did. And still playing a mean game as well. Well, he used his red to play safe off if it's won by the middle pocket. But he doesn't really want to bring that away from the pocket, from the cushion, unless he has to. He must feel he has to bring it away. That's a good safety.
There's a latest score. Chris Wakelin, who ran Judd Trump close a couple of years ago in the first round, has won the first frame against Martin Gould, who's now playing, of course, in his special snooker specs.
Well, he might just be tempted at this red down the cushion. If you could screw back the right side of the blue, it should be relatively safe, unless it rattles and goes over the other pocket. And that's just what's happened. He's got a couple of safe reds. So he won't be panicking yet, Graeme Dott.
One.
Another latest score.
Yellow
Anthony
ball.
McGill had a century in the first frame against Jack Jones. Of course, McGill was a top 16 player, has fallen back a little bit. But if you do well in the World Championship, what a chance to go back up in the rankings.
Yeah, it's the one tournament where if you do really well, you can really climb up the rankings, maybe even get into the top 16. Graeme Dott's not that far away from it. I think he's on 21 at the moment.
4.
Trying to leave an angle on the black to bring that red into play by the left middle. If he hasn't quite got the angle, he can screw back in behind the red on the other cushion. He's underhit it though. Just maybe a little tension there.
11.
It's a long way out that to drop in behind the red.
David Grace. 11.
Well, it was looking relatively safe until he got the kiss on the black. 3 points in it. So Graeme needs that red on the cushion as well now. Not much of an angle there, is there?
One.
And that's as good as he could get. Excellent shot that from Graeme Dott. A little bit more angle and he could have got in behind the red or even knocked it out. As it is, I don't think there's any way he can get to the red. But a beautiful little cannon that. Now, will he play the double? Try and get that cue ball in behind the black. If it doesn't go in, it should be safe.
Liam Highfield there taking the first against Lu Ning. Yeah, there's no doubt this last red now looking like a big ball in this frame.
Couldn't be tempted by the double.
Graeme Dott. 8.
You can see from Graeme Dott's reaction, he didn't cover the red.
Yes, a lot of balls down there to get in behind. But when playing that type of shot, you've got to make sure of the red. Make sure the red's safe. The snooker is a bonus.
We've seen a lot of frames like this week, haven't we? Closely fought, a bit edgy, down to the colours. Always fascinating viewing, and particularly with the knowledge of what it means to the players, of course.
Yeah, anxious looks there from Graeme. But I think it's too risky to take on the red. But a good chance of a snooker here. Sending the red around the table, trying to get it in behind the black. The green could be in the way, but it's well worth playing it. Getting that cue ball on the baulk cushion. Got to make sure of the red though. Got to hit the red hard enough, because if you don't, you can leave it. And he's fortunate, it's gone so close to the cushion. He didn't hit that anywhere near hard enough. It should have been towards the black, near the black. It's a good safety though where it's landed. Something to think about for Graeme Dott. If he plays to hit the red thin and take the cue ball back down the table, there's a chance that the red would go over the opposite corner. So he's got to be careful. Well, that's got him out of trouble, this shot. But he could be back in trouble in a second. Didn't really want to play that because he knew that he was leaving an easy safety shot for his opponent.
Yeah, it looked like it might be a quick kill, didn't it, when Dott got in early on? He broke down on 41. Just allowed Grace back into the frame. And now it's anyone's.
And it could be Grace's. If this red goes in, nothing safe. By the same token, if he misses it, it could be end of frame, so lots of pressure on the shot. Beautiful shot.
One.
Absolutely beautiful. A little straighter than he wanted on the black, but I think he can still get to the yellow with good cue power. Needs a lot of side on the cue ball and got to miss the green. Didn't really get enough side on, but an easy snooker to come.
8.
This is where it doesn't matter if the yellow goes down over the pocket, because if he leaves the cue ball where the yellow is, he's guaranteed to be snookered.
David Grace, 8.
3 points in it. And Graeme Dott snookered. He may attempt the 2 cushion escape here. Just got to be careful not to leave a free ball. Well, it was a good hit, but one good pot here from David Grace, and it should be frame over. Again, I'll say it again, there's lots of pressure on this. Good pot.
2.
Asked a question of himself there.
I think it's a good sign, isn't it? The red he knocked in and now that yellow. Both cued very nicely.
Yes, it also sends a message to your opponent as well that you're potting the pressure balls.
5.
So, brown, blue and pink required.
Got to get the right side of the blue.
9.
Not the best shot, but he should be okay if he plays it to the middle with a trace of left-hand side. He'd have a pot at the pink. wherever the cue ball lands.
Half hour opening frame. David Grace needs the pink to win it. And it's not there.
Yeah, he didn't quite get close enough to the pink, did he?
40.
Off that easy blue. He could have done with being closer. And although this is a difficult pot, the cue ball will be coming down towards the black. So if this goes in, good shot, and bang on the black.
Well, that's a terrific pot from Graeme Dott. Well, David Grace potted that great red, that great yellow, couldn't add the pink as well. Graeme Dott is surely going to knock this black in to win the opening frame. A dramatic start to what's sure to be another dramatic evening here in Sheffield. David Grace knows he had his chance there. Just left himself an iffy pink, didn't he, which he missed. And Graeme Dott knocked in a terrific pink. He's already pumped up, isn't he, the wee man? He leads here 1-0, first to 6, to reach the final qualifying round of this World Snooker Championship. Well, one of Graeme Dott's many qualities is his bottle. He's great under pressure. He knocked in that terrific pink there.
Thank you. Frame 2.
You just see as he knocked the black in, he went back to his seat, even though it's only frame 1, already knowing that's a big blow to land. David Grace had his chance. Nothing worse is there than having a good chance. Didn't get as close to the pink as he would have liked. There was a bit of pressure on it, he missed it, and Graeme Dott stepped in.
yes, and you can rest assured that Graeme Dott knows that that's going to hurt David Grace, because he knows the frame was his. Like you just said, you've got to inflict pain when you can. And that great pink, and it was a great pink from Graeme Dott, tight under the cushion, but judged it to perfection, coming down for the black.
Foul.
Yep, he knew as soon as
4.
he'd hit the cue ball too thin, and it was always going towards the pocket. But no damage done. But maybe a chance to try and get that cue ball in behind the green. Not far away. It's not far away at all. Graeme Dott tapping the table when he saw that cue ball going towards that green. Didn't play to hit that red. He was playing around the cushions to try and land up into the pack of reds.
One.
Well controlled. Nicely the right side of the blue. The red just above the black. Available after the shot. And he's lost the cue ball a little. Not a good positional shot that from such an easy blue. Thought he would have bounced off the cushion, the black cushion. But a good recovery. I think he can see the black. It's not easy. You'd expect to get this, but again, pressure on the shot.
See Tetchar and Newt turning up on Dominic Dale as David Grace winds this black up. Yeah, he's done well there. There was pressure on it, particularly after the way he lost the first frame. It's hard to just put that completely out of your mind.
40.
He was actually coming into a bit
50.
of form just before the lockdown. He got to the quarterfinals of Gibraltar, which was the last event before everything stopped. And then when the Championship League came round, the first event back, he was drawn in Judd Trump's group. In fact, had to play him first up. Trump won the match 3-0.
Nice attacking shot there from David.
22.
He's got to put his stamp on this game. Could have done so in the last frame, but a chance here. You've got to get those. You know, when he looks back, he could have played that red to the middle, screwed to the side cushion, been on the green with a nice angle to come back down the table, take all the pressure off the shot, and I would have fancied him for that. You can argue that he shouldn't have missed the shot, but he can lose the frame from missing that shot that he's just played.
Chris Wakelin motoring on 2-0 now against Martin Gould. Remember, 8 matches being played. The last 8 matches in the penultimate round of qualifying. We start the first of 2 judgment days tomorrow afternoon.
1.
Draws on Wednesday morning, and the final stages start on Friday morning. Graeme Dott's played at the Crucible 20 times. It's a great record. And the last time he didn't play there was back in 2014. He's had more appearances than the likes of Terry Griffiths, Ken Doherty, Dennis Taylor. So, you know, he's a veteran really at the Crucible.
8.
It's a tournament where every year he does seem to do something.
Class, you see.
9.
And never know him when you beat him. He's got a great attitude, Graeme Dott.
Anthony McGill, another Scotsman, 2-0 up on Jack Jones. McGill actually the only Scot who played at the Championship League. I think the others felt it was just too far to come, and maybe a bit early, but he came down.
16.
To Milton Keynes.
17. 24. 25.
Looking for an angle on the black to be able to nudge the reds open, and he's got it. He has got other shots he can play if he wants to, but this is a good chance to win the frame if he goes into them. Well, he couldn't have split them much better, but they haven't been favourable. Has got a red to the baulk corner on left middle, but it could have been so much easier than this. Well, I was just going to say how to split the reds, and the way he did it was exactly the way that I was thinking. So it's very unfortunate not to have been on one. Still may recover. That's a good recovery
33.
shot, and played for the green, and he's got that angle on the green that I suggested David Grace would have a few shots previously. Now, if he's on the red to the middle, that was
36.
an absolutely delightful positional shot. He's certainly on one to the right corner. Well, the one to the right corner looked
36.
an easier shot to play.
Well, similar to the first frame, he was in on 41 there, broke down. 36 in this frame, just looking good. But it comes to an end, and he's not happy. The last frame, Grace got in with a red to the left middle. Looking here at the right middle.
Yeah, it was all or nothing the way he played it, because he was leaving a red to the left middle.
Yeah.
He's left an easier one to the left corner, but again, there was a lot of pressure on that shot the way he played it. One of those where you have to get a difficult pot.
Well, I think David Grace would be surprised now if he's not 2-0 down in a few minutes. It's a great chance, isn't it, for Graeme Dott? You see that little wristband, by the way, that blue wristband. That's to let you know that you've passed the COVID test, and indeed all 202 people that were tested, players, officials, media, everybody involved in the bubble, everybody passed.
And us.
We were in there somewhere, don't worry. I've got mine on.
Me too.
Six.
Yeah, it's quite an operation, it's got to be said, being run here by World Snooker Tour, everybody back at the hotel and here at the venue between the various teams, and not forgetting the bus driver who's coming back and forth
7.
many times a day, ferrying everybody between venue and hotel. Mark Davis and Sam Baird won each. Mark Davis has qualified more times than anyone else, 10 times in total, but he's actually qualified for the Crucible, so he'd like to extend that record, I'm sure.
Not too fussed about leaving himself with the rest.
12.
Sign of a good rest player.
13.
Another 2 more reds with big colours required. 30 points the difference.
21.
Needs a red and a black to leave David Grace needing snookers.
26.
Not ideally on the red to the corner, but maybe there's one that will go to the yellow pocket.
Well, as I said, when Grace missed that do or die red to the right middle, he must have thought it's going to take something for me to lose this frame. Dott still needs a red after the pink.
Yeah, it does now with the pink. David Grace can tie. And he's just overrun there a little.
33.
Had a chance to the red with the middle pocket, but it was a tough one.
34.
So having had a shot at the pink to lead 1-0, David Grace is going to be 2-0 down.
Graeme Dott 41 on the frame.
Yeah, so David Grace stays in his seat and Graeme Dott with a useful early advantage here. He did break down, of course, initially on 36, but Grace immediately missed that red to the middle, and it's Graeme Dott leading 2-0. 6 frames required, remember, to reach the final qualifying round of this World Championship. Just a match, therefore, from the Crucible. We'll be back shortly, live in Sheffield, with frame 3. Institute of Sport here in Sheffield. Graeme Dott 2, David Grace 0.
Graeme Dott
In the early throes of this third qualifying round match in the World Snooker Championship. It's been a little glimpse for anyone who's never been to the qualifiers, never seen them this week here on Eurosport, just what it's like. And as we've seen all week, what it's like is very nervy. Everyone trying to get through to the Crucible and the televised phase.
Not the best break-off from Graeme Dott. And that's a good pot.
1.
From David Grace. He has had chances. That's a good positional shot, and when he takes this red, it makes getting to that red to the right of it a little bit easier.
4.
Well, 3-0 to Tepchar and Nu against Dominic Dale, so that's what's taken about, what, half an hour? Well, maybe a bit longer, 40 minutes.
Another 3 reds to go at.
11. 12.
'He fled the attacking shot, trying to open a few more reds up, expecting to be on the red to the right corner, but
19, touching ball.
unless he plays a plant. And it's too risky to play that plant, surely. Touching ball called, so he can play away, but can he get down the table?
David Grace, 90.
Well, disappointing, as you say, played the positive shot, but just didn't get on a red. I should say, by the way, the winner of the match plays either Martin Gould or Chris Wakelin. It's currently, in that match, as you can see, 3-0 to Wakelin, so great start for him.
Yes, and quick as well.
Martin Gould on the latest seedings, 59th. He's much lower than you might think, so not absolutely guaranteed his place. You would think he's going to stay on, but you know, there's various things can happen that'll knock him off. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. He thought about it, didn't he? He wasn't going to play it, and then played the attacking shot, and he's a little unfortunate again not to have been on a colour, an easy colour. It's a great pot.
Green ball. David Grace, 1.
Deserved more than 1 point.
Well, he's potted well, hasn't he? But the problem is that the important ball, the really important one, that pink in the first frame, he didn't pot.
And the red to the right middle in the next.
The thing is, though, had he potted the pink, he might have potted that. That's the thing.
Yep.
Is, even though it's frame 1, it can be very significant.
It's how you lose the frame, isn't it? And he knows he should have won it. But by missing the pink, he's still feeling the pain. Well, Graeme Dott giving away the safety there by playing that shot. Easy safety for David Grace. Again, another easy safety. Cue ball on the ball cushion behind the green. Caught it a little bit too thick, but it's okay. Raises his hand, because so easily could have left a red on there. That's a mistake. So another chance for David Grace. A good one. Well, that's not too bad. He's on the yellow to the middle. Just depends what kind of an angle he's got on the yellow. Has he got the angle to get back down the table, or is it straight? He's got the angle. Now, pressure on the shot. He's overhit it. And let's end a break.
3.
Well, Anthony McGill has made a good start. Some one-sided matches so far, actually. He's 3-0 up against Jack Jones. McGill inflicted the Crucible curse on Mark Selby when he was defending champion in 2015. He beat him. We'll hear a lot about that on Friday, won't we, when Judd Trump walks out to play. No first-time champion has ever defended the title.
David Grace, 3.
Yeah, but if anybody can do it, Judd Trump can. Won 6 tournaments last year. Well, counted as this year still.
Yeah, it's been a long season, hasn't it? For obvious reasons. It's been truncated. It's been lengthened, I should say. And isn't it great to have the World Championship on at all?
£500,000 for the winner. Found the path through the reds, but, well, I was going to say an easy starter, but it's not. He raises his hand again. Just looking to see where he wants a cue ball for the safety.
Yeah, with all sorts of frames. We had, of course, a 145 from Alan Taylor, highest break so far. Last night, in his match against Wu Yiza, Alan McManus won a frame with a highest break of 8. So there's different sorts of frames, but they all count the same if you win them.
Forced into taking that red on, and he shouldn't have been able to do it. That cue ball should have been dead on the top cushion or very close to it. He brought it too far away in his attempted safety, David Grace, and he could pay the price. Now, Matthew Stevens, of course, has been in 2 World Finals, but he's currently trailing his fellow Welshman Ian Priest 2-1. Ian Priest has been around a long time, never played at the Crucible. Former World Amateur Champion. So many interesting narratives here, different players with different ambitions, I guess, some to stay on the tour, some to play at the Crucible for the first time. Former champion like Graeme here, looking to get back there for a 21st time. You can feel the tension, you know, when you get on that bus. Nothing is said, is it? It's all just players just getting their head down, ready to get to the venue and start playing. Trying to psych themselves up on the bus.
Ian Priest, I think I'm right in saying he won that World Amateur title in Papua New Guinea.
22.
Which is not necessarily known for its snooker, but we know the game's played all around the world now.
23.
Seems to have got used to the table pretty quickly, Graeme Dott, especially after that first frame when he knocked in that fantastic pink, finished perfect on the black. His positional play has been exceptionally good. Okay.
28.
Well, if he can win this frame, then the fourth is huge for Grace.
29.
Just to get some sort of foothold in this match. He's playing someone, as we know, with a great record in the World Championship. It's not someone in the same boat as David, lower down the rankings. It's someone who's been there and won the tournament.
Well, and to be fair, he's playing exceptionally well as well now. Again, inch perfect with his positional play, giving himself choice of 2 reds.
$37. $44.
He's going to need 3 of these 4 reds.
$45. $51.
First half century of the match.
52.
By taking the blue, he's going to need another colour of that red in the baulk area.
$57.
These are not gimmies though, and he's got to play it at pace to get to a colour.
$58.
And that will do nicely. Nicely on the green or brown.
Yeah, he's taken a stranglehold on proceedings here, hasn't he? And it all started in that opening frame.
Yep, it started with the miss first from David Grace, but then it also started with a fantastic pot on the pink. Two snookers needed, so worth playing on if he gets the chance.
Graeme Dott, 62.
Well, a solid 62 that from Graeme Dott. 39 the lead, 35 on. 1 snooker to tie with the black, 2 to win. Yeah, it was a free go at that red, and it's gone in. So Graeme Dott, as I say, firmly in control now. And the next frame is a really big one, isn't it? If Dott can win that one as well, then you really fancy him strongly at 4-0. There were various sort of prediction contests and people naming their 16 qualifiers, and a lot of people picked a lot of different names, but I think pretty much everyone went for Graeme Dott in this section just because of his record, not just at the Crucible, but actually getting to the Crucible. He's qualified a total of 9 times, as he makes a bit of a mess of that one, but it doesn't matter. The frame is his.
David Grace 4, frame
And
conceded.
if it carries on like this, the match will be his later on this evening. He's halfway to victory already. David Grace knows a big frame for him coming up the 4th frame. Try and get something on the scoreboard heading into that interval. Because at the moment, it's one-way traffic. Graeme Dott in the ascendancy here at Sheffield, leading David Grace by 3 frames to 0. He was there with all the former champions. He's got a great picture, which he's had blown up, of him with all the players that were playing that year and all the former champions. So, you know, he loves his snooker, loves being part of it, but at the moment, he's struggling here this evening.
To break.
Yeah, he was sat there quite a while waiting for Graeme Dott, and that's the time when you should have been really psyching yourself up for a good break, and catching the blue is not a good sign. That's a good pot and a very good path through the reds. Deserve better. No way to get back to the red, so probably just the safety. A confident pot to take on though.
Yellow ball.
Well, doesn't get much safer than that.
No, he's granite, isn't he? He really is.
Foul. And
wow, so close.
Graeme Dott 4. Back.
And back it goes, and he's got to be a little careful here, because any harder and that red by the black spot would have been available.
Andy Yates, our referee, putting the cue ball back.
Yeah, Graeme, thank you.
That's better. And it's a tough red to take on.
One.
Well, that's a nice pot. Now he might just try and play the cannon to the red. That's by the black spot if it doesn't go. If it goes after the black's re-spotted, then no need to move it. Looks like black spot's held there. So down onto the blue spot.
8.
Now imperative he gets top side of the black to be able to get back to the reds.
9.
Just about got there.
Anthony McGill 4-0 up now against Jack Jones, so another rather one-sided match there. Doesn't mean it'll stay that way, of course. Intervals can change things. You usually help the player trailing.
$60. 17. 24. 25.
Still another red he can play for, but not now. Unless that's a plant, the two reds to the left of the pink. He'll probably have to go into them. And I think he's just about got what he played there. He's trying to leave himself on the red to the left corner.
32.
Doesn't like it, so just the safety.
Graeme Dott, 32.
There's another latest score. Of course, the winner of that match plays the winner of this one. Chris Wakelin 3-1 up on Martin Gould. It was 3-0, so Gould has got a frame on the board heading to the interval.
Full ball kiss on the brown leaves a half chance for David Grace, and it's when you feel that he's got to take, they've got to start going in these. 3-1 wouldn't be too bad, but 4-0 he's got 4 out of 5, make that 5 out of 6 now. Another good shot, and played for one of the colours, didn't play the cue ball back to the baulk area, played for the green or blue, so he's got another chance. And maybe that red next to the pink, that will go to the left corner. That's the easiest red to play for. As long as he finishes on a red, that's the main thing.
4. 5.
5 quite far enough for this red into the middle to be able to get back to the black. And now he can play for the red next to the pink. May have felt that the yellow was in the way last time round to play for it, but he's nicely on the yellow to be able to play for that red now.
Well, this shaped up to be something of an upset. Ian Preece and Matthew Stephen, all Welsh affair. Stevens would certainly have started favourite there, but again, a seeded player coming in cold, not having had a match. Ian Preece has had a couple, and he's 3-1 up.
Well, that red below the pink, it looked as though it would go there, but maybe you thought that you couldn't get through to the black. Like to hit them.
23.
Ricky Walden and Mark Joyce 2-1 to Walden, former semi-finalist. Yeah, things just not quite going to plan for Grace at the moment.
Yeah, it just didn't get enough stunning to the cue ball. So has to wait for another chance if he gets one.
David Grace, 23.
So the break ends at 23, 14 points in this big fourth frame. Grace looking to get on the scoreboard. Dott knows 4-0 for him. It's a very commanding position at the interval. Remember, it goes up to best of 19 from tomorrow. The final qualifying round played over 2 days, so 2 sessions, 1 and 7:30. Important to say that because, of course, we've been starting at 1:30, so do join us at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the start of play. Don't miss the bus, Joe. It's going to go earlier tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I remember playing in a snooker tournament in Hull once. It was just a small invitation tournament, and I got there just a little late, about 15 minutes, and when I got there, I've opened the door to go in, and the room's packed, and Willie Thorne's playing somebody. And the guy said to me, "Joe, you may be 15 minutes late, but you're a week early." So, yeah, thanks for reminding me, David, because it does happen.
Well, of course, the famous one was the John Virgo when he eventually won the UK Championship, and the final session was earlier, wasn't it, than all the other sessions, and he was, well, not there. He had to basically leg it to the Guildhall.
I was with him. Me, myself, Jimmy White, Tony Mayo, Henry West. Everybody thought that it started later than it did, but because it was on World of Sport, then it started earlier. Costume frame.
Meanwhile, this is a chance for Grace.
Good shot.
1.
And you're right, it's another chance, but a difficult table. Those 2 reds below the pink, one of them will go. Didn't get into the cue ball enough, not enough side on the cue ball, and he's left himself with another pressure shot. Yeah, that's a good recovery.
4.
Now, where will the pink go if he pots it? No.
10.
Hasn't come far enough and taps his head because that was a careless positional shot. I don't think he could get on the red the way he's played the shot. So if that was the case, why not just drop it in dead weight and play the red to the left corner? And that's why he tapped his head. Not thinking.
David Grace, 10.
Well, these are tense moments, aren't they? 4 points in it, but of course, crucially, it's 3-0. So even if Dott loses the frame, he's still in control of the match at this early stage. But 4-0, then David Grace really would have it all to do after the interval.
Well, it's another chance. Now it could be worthwhile trying to move these two reds off of this shot. He doesn't have to play that shot, but he is going to have to move them at some stage. Nicely on the pink, and should be able to get to that red on the right side cushion. Now these are tough shots. Where he's left himself there.
7.
Very tough shots.
David Grace, 7.
Yeah. Not easy. Tried to make sure of the red. Now, Graeme thinking about going directly at those two reds, but the black could be in the way.
1.
Has he come far enough? I think he may have just left that a little short to be able to get the cannon to those two reds. And if he has, that's a little life for David Grace. Yeah, couldn't get the cannon. And dangerous to play the cue ball back down the table here. May just leave the cue ball on the black cushion. Can't make the plant.
Graeme Dott, 8.
Yeah, he's played a very good safety. Made David think here. Oh, he risked the double kiss and he got it, but it went in his favour. He raises his hand, but he's delighted.
Thanks, Graeme.
Well, maybe he could try and get the cue ball in behind the green here. Push that red towards the other red. At least, worst case scenario, it's safe. Best case, he gets the snooker. A little bit hard, but safe.
Yeah, 5 points in this crucial fourth frame. Thing is, you can get a 4-0 that's close. I mean, this match has been closely fought. Grace has been in every frame. Just hasn't won any yet.
Well, maybe a chance here of getting the cue ball in behind the black, or he could play the cue ball dead on the top cushion behind the yellow. Choices that he could play. Somewhere there. It's close.
Foul.
Well,
David Grace, 4.
well, doesn't look to be any damage done, but it could have been a lot worse than that. He mishit that completely. Oh, what a great shot.
1.
What a terrific shot. But he's not on an easy colour. The yellow's cuttable. And the brown a little bit too difficult. The blue very difficult. deserved so much better from that great shot, because he'd left a red on, had it missed it.
Graeme Dott, 1.
Now he holds his hand up again because he played for the red off the blue for sure, and he's not on it. Where's it going to finish? What a nice kiss. And this time it's David Grace who raises his hand.
It just makes such a difference, doesn't it? The odd little nudge like that, otherwise you would have left that on.
And of course the game on. Yeah, I just wonder if he'll try and get that cue ball in behind the brown or in behind the yellow. In behind the yellow, and he's got it. That's a good shot. So David Grace again under great pressure here, 2 points behind. Got to hit it and get it safe. This is where you need that bit of luck. Oh, that's a beauty. He's hit that well. Tap on the table from Graeme Dott. Looks good. Black in a good spot for David.
Well, certainly safety's not been a problem. David Grace is actually ahead on that. 88% to 84. "28 minutes now this frame."
I didn't think the red went. He got very close to it. But now a chance for Graeme Dott.
Yeah, full-blooded attempt. He couldn't have got much closer, could he? But he has, as you say, left this chance for Dott, looking to get himself 4-0 up at the interval.
Got very close to it, but he's left it on. So another chance for David Grace. That's better.
1.
It looked like it got a big bounce there.
7.
Yeah, apologies, we've just lost the scoring graphic.
David Grace, 7.
So Grace 51, Dott 46 is the score. Yeah, I think it must have taken a flyer off that cushion.
Well, very sportingly, Graeme Dott saying he thought he got a big bounce by wiping the cushion.
Dott 5 behind then.
So, at last, a chance. Very good chance, but where the brown is, it's going to be difficult to clear up from here. And that's not where he wanted to be really on the green. He may have to really force this into the pocket. Very difficult to get to the blue here and pop the brown.
Yeah.
Points level, he needs brown, blue and pink.
Oh, that's another belter. What a shot that was at that pace.
Well, this is typical Graeme Dott, isn't it? That's what he does.
Well, he has a little smile to himself, but I think he can take this to the middle, screw to the side cushion, and he'd only need the pink. Yeah, good shot.
14.
Well, this
And,
match was all about the pink in frame one. David Grace missed it. Graeme Dott potted it. He needs this pink. He's going to be 4-0 up at the interval, and this has been a terrific little clearance. It's only
20
yellow to
in front,
pink, but the
Graeme
balls he
Dott.
potted, superb. So Graeme Dott firmly in charge then as the players head off to the interval. He's going to need 2 more frames when they return 15 minutes from now to book his 21st appearance at the Crucible. David Grace clearly with it all to do. Graeme Dott, yet again in the World Championship, has the bit between his teeth, and he's leading in Sheffield by 4 frames to 0. We come back after the break as the Betfred World Snooker Championship qualifier. And of course the problem with being in the hotel, I guess, you're always around other snooker people. You can't switch off from any of it. Lots of players in there and officials and so on.
Yeah, very difficult. But everybody delighted to be in it. And that's a good safety shot from David Grace on the snooker. It shouldn't be a problem. Graeme Dott just come off the right side cushion, land up into the reds. It looks like he's playing on the loose red. No, into the pack. Got very close to that loose red, but that's what he played. Got to get your own rest and put it away. And another good safety. Not quite a snooker this time round, but still a good safety. Yeah, well, that's not good really, from where he was, and he knows it. The red to the left corner, not worth the risk. But chance to play a good safety shot here.
No need for Dott to push the boat out too much. He's got a good lead. Doesn't want to open the door. He's been around long enough to know that matches can turn around. They do turn around here. Well, it was a chance for Dott, but and David again reaching for the rest, which is never going to be there. will feel, of course, that he's going to have to start putting something together if he's going to threaten here, put pressure on Dott.
Yeah, he's got to start attacking. Get into those reds as soon as possible. Try and develop the pink on black. One, that looks just about right. Now, if you can miss the pink, could bring the black into play here if he splits them nicely. Well, that's brought the black into play.
6.
That is the on one. I didn't think it was hard enough, that. So just a safety shot, trying to get in behind the brown, I would think.
David Grace, 6.
Again, not really good enough there from where he was. And look at this. Just what he didn't need, David Grace. But you got to take it while you can get it. It can be cruel, this game. But really, the safety shot, which I said wasn't good enough there, it should have been behind the brown. It was such an easy shot to get.
Well, it's almost like the snooker gods say, okay, you've not played with safety, so this is what you get as a result. Your opponent flukes one.
And a good kiss as well.
Yep.
Black's tied up though, so still needs work doing here.
There's a latest score. Anthony McGill 5-1 up against Jack Jones.
4.
So one more frame required for him.
Lots of action on the cue ball there, and look at that, he's got it absolutely perfect. I did say right at the beginning of this match that Graeme seems to have got the pace of the table very nicely. Now, once again, he could play the cannon to the reds, miss the pink. Doesn't have to play it. But it looks a shot that he could play. If he misses the pink on the left, plays into the reds. Doesn't look to be a red that could bring the black into play. Oh well,
Graeme Dott.
Don't forget the blue. That is a surprise. That's the first ball he's missed in this match. First easy one, should I say.
Yeah, I think that just shows you the importance of concentration. And of course, one thing that will break your concentration is having to go off for 15 minutes. which I don't think ever favours the player in front. It's not to say he won't still win 6-0, but it may have been a factor there. You know, he was keyed up to continue and just sort of wipes his eyes and thinks about that miss, because it could be significant.
Yeah. Could just make him think a little if he could punish. And it's not an easy table to punish with. Helps getting the blue back on its spot. But looking at where the cue ball is now, it looks very difficult to get to a colour from there.
Seven.
Yeah, that's a good shot, and he's developed the black. That was a little belter, that one. And I'm not sure about playing for the black here because I'm not sure if he can get to another red.
15.
Unless he can play a cannon. And that's worked out okay. He's developed a red.
22.
Well, once again, he's looking at potting this red and playing behind the black and trying to play the cannon into those 4 reds and stay on the black. This will be good if it comes off. Well, I've caught the black first. It was a tricky little shot he was attempting there. Now, can he see enough of the pink to try and get that cue ball in behind the brown?
Sorry? Pink, yeah.
Well, it looks to me as though he can come off the cushion and catch the pink half ball, send the cue ball down the table. And that looks an easier shot than playing the brown. And that's what he's playing.
Brown ball.
The brown.
Thank you. Foul, the miss.
Yep, and we'll be going
David Grace
back.
23, Graeme Dott 4. Black.
And the 8s is our referee. Yeah, they work long hours as well. They do double sessions here, the refs.
I'm going the same way. Get pretty close to that.
Although most find time for just a small refreshment before
Okay.
bed.
Thank you.
Brown.
Brown ball.
Brown again.
Foul, the miss. Graeme Dott 4. Brown ball.
Oh, so
Foul.
close.
The miss. Graeme Dott 4.
Well, these are just 3 points for him. Got 12 out of this already.
Yeah, that was a very good speed he played it at last time round though. And if he does hit the brown,
Brown
he
ball.
could well get the snooker. A little wide again. Both
Oh,
sides of the
missed.
brown
Graeme Dott 4.
he's missed it up. Yep. Keep going back.
Well, that's 4 misses. And if he misses again, Dott will be in front.
Graeme, thank you. Brown ball.
Attempt number 5. Got there in the end. Yeah, well done.
Another excellent speed on the cue ball there. Really does put you under pressure when you keep getting that cue ball tight to the cushion. You can play off a red, but he's sending the red onto the other reds. The red that's just directly below the pink spot, if he plays that red, he's sending other reds towards that left corner, and that's what he's afraid of. So not playing the shot. Yeah, anxious looks there from David Grace to see if he'd left the red onto the middle. Not sure if you can get the cue ball in behind the brown, but if you can, I think it's worth clipping that red to the left of the black. Unless he's going for the pot. No. What a good attempt. It's only the speed there, because had it rested on the brown, didn't want the kiss, but has he got away with it? Is there a red there that will go? And it will.
One.
Yeah, just not enough action in the cue ball to get the right side of the blue. Not easy to get back to the reds from the blue. I suppose he could just drop it in and play the red to the left corner. Leave an angle just to drop down onto the black. Could only leave the red he was playing on if he played that shot. Not saying he can't get all the way around the table, it's just going to be a difficult shot. That's a top spin, right hand side on the cue ball. And this could work out nicely. Well played. Did so well to get round there.
6.
And this time make sure you get the right side of the blue.
Seven.
Yeah, of course, this was the ball he missed in this frame, which stopped him in his tracks, but he's back in. He's just such a great competitor. Graeme Dott really is. This World Championship, we see the best of him.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll try and play the cannon to those two reds. Stay on the black. He has, and that's developed another two reds.
And I guess this is where all those foul points have helped. He got those 16 foul points.
He's going to need 3 of these reds. 2 of them are really easy.
21.
It's a difference though, isn't it? You know, he doesn't need that one now on the cushion. Well, he could play on it, but what I mean is it's easier than it could have been with those foul points. You think at the time it's not that significant, but it can be.
26. 27.
'A red and a blue would be enough with this red.
34.
To leave him on the brink at 5-0.
Big bounce off the cushion there. Yeah, a little smile from him, but he only needs the blue. So full concentration.
.38 in front, 35 on.
40.
Yeah, just got to be careful though. Doesn't want to leave this red on. It's close.
Graeme Dott, 40.
Well, he has left the red on. David Grace needs the black from it to be able to just win back one snooker. It's not going to be the black.
1.
Well, at least he's on the pink. It means it would be 1 to tie, 1 4-point snooker to tie on the yellow.
Yes, it was a pretty good kiss that, because he would have been in the middle of nowhere without that kiss, but he can still tie now. And a chance here of getting in behind the brown. Never got hold of it.
Ooh, doesn't want the pink in. Oof.
David Grace, 7.
So 31 in it, 27 on.
Nicely done. Wasn't guaranteed that. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball there to try and check it in behind the black. Oh, a little kiss there would have been nice. Good attempt though to get in behind the brown.
Really good effort, but if Dott can pop the yellow, then it's surely going to be 5-0. And in it goes, look at that, bang in the middle of the pocket.
Graeme Dott, 2. On the front.
Yeah, he's seen enough, so Graeme Dott marches on. And a scrappy frame, that 27 minutes. Graeme Dott, I can assure you, doesn't mind about that. He's won it, and he's on the brink of victory and a place in the last round of qualifying for this World Championship that he won back in 2006. He leads David Grace 5-0. We'll see if he can kill it off the other side of this break. Of the evening, and I suppose no great surprise, it featured the quickest player on the circuit, Tepchar Nu, doing the old Mark Williams shot here under the body, stealing a little march on Mark with that one. Well in front of course, 5-1, about to become 6-1. This very talented tie. A lot of people I know would like to see him at the Crucible. He's looking at his tip at the end there, so that's okay. He's won 6-1. Well, every cloud. Dominic Dell might be out, but he'll be joining us now as part of our Eurosport commentary team, so we look forward to seeing Dominic on Friday.
Third. Frame 6. David Grace to break.
So Graeme Dott needs one more frame, and David Grace, doesn't matter how big a snooker fan you are, and he is a big one, you don't want to be whitewashed in the World Championship, so let's see if he can get something out of the match here. His highest break tonight, just 26, so clearly if he's to stand any chance of mounting some sort of comeback, he's got to improve on that. Graeme Dott has been potting the crunch balls and we're feeling really good right now, especially considering a lot of the other higher seeded players have gone out. The likes of Joe Perry and Gary Wilson, Ali Carter, of course, last night. Doesn't at the moment, though, look like an upset here. Judgment Day Part 1 tomorrow with 8 matches and a lot of intriguing matchups over 2 sessions, 1 and 7:30 British time. Meanwhile, he's just mishit that one and has offered up an immediate chance here for Graeme Dott.
Just what he didn't need. Graeme Dott thinking about how to get onto a colour to open those reds up. You could try and get the black back on its spot, play that red behind the black, and then bust them. He's having a little nod though. He must have finished too straight on the black, which means that he can't leave himself an easy next red. Oh, he did well there to create the angle, and a good kiss, which was deserved, you've got to say. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball there in potting on the blue. Brilliant shot. And again, that's worked out nicely. He's going for the jugular. He's trying to win at this visit.
$14. $15. $22. $23.
Well, he could play for the red in the balk area, but he could come down for that red by the pink spot. He could play down behind that red behind the black. He could even attempt to bust them. These are all things that's going through his mind. The main thing is, how do I win the frame at this visit? No, it's not going to be this visit.
Graeme Dott, 23. One.
The other result we could bring you, Anthony McGill has just beaten Jack Jones 6-1. So pretty comfortable in the end for the Scotsman.
Four.
Very difficult down the cushion with the rest. But knew he wasn't leaving anything if he missed it, except the red he was playing on. Well, that's brought the pink into play. Wasn't too bothered about giving away the safety advantage. Just wants to keep the game flowing at this point, Graeme Dott. Doesn't want to get tied down into a safety battle. Surely not through the gap. It is. It was harder to get there than in behind one of the colours. He's potted some good long balls this evening. Graeme Dott. Could this be another? Could be a match winner. Great shot. Absolutely great shot. Never looked like missing, and he's potted some beauties this evening. Pink comes to mind in the first frame. Tight under the cushion.
Yeah, he's potted the crunch balls tonight, hasn't he? And there's another one. What I like about Graeme, he's brutally honest about his own abilities and indeed deficiencies. He said, when I was a top 16 player, I was probably one of the easy draws for the qualifiers, but now I'm a qualifier, I'm one of the tough draws for the seeds. And that's certainly true. You wouldn't want to play him first round.
Eight.
Another beauty. Stayed down on the shot. There's two crackers in this little break. Just overscrewed that one. Wanted that to be 3 or 4 inches slower.
16.
Too straight on this red. Makes it very difficult to come out for the black. So just playing the safety. Patience.
16.
The name of the game. Every time he plays the safety, he shoves one to the corner, doesn't get the good kiss, leaves one on, and that's the way it goes when you're struggling. And every good kiss that's going, Graeme seems to get right now, and that's, again, the way it goes. That really couldn't have kissed any better to finish on the black like he did. And now he's given himself a great chance to win frame and match. I'd be surprised now if he didn't win from here.
Ball's at his mercy, 43 in front. Just got to concentrate now, really.
Yeah, and if he can get the pink back on its spot, which it looks like he is going to do, it makes it even easier.
Well, it'll be Chris Wakelin or Martin Gould next for Graeme Dott, assuming he comes through here. That, of course, best in 19 frame match to get back to the Crucible for the 21st time. When you start playing snooker, you dream of just playing there once. Graeme Dott's already achieved the ultimate in snooker. He's won the world title, but of course now into his 40s, you never quite know how long your career's going to run. He would be so proud to play there again. First things first, get this match out of the way. The first frame was big. Oh, hang on a minute, this has come off a bit lively.
Yeah, I thought it was coming towards the cushion a bit lively though. I thought he overhit that. I'd like to see that one again. It just looked as though he'd overhit it. He may have got a big bounce as well.
Well, all of a sudden, it's not so straightforward. In fact, he's playing the yellow.
Yeah, not leaving David Grace any easy chances.
Well, that is granite, isn't it? He's 5-0 up, he's 51 up, but Graeme Dott puts the yellow safe. Old school.
Oh, absolutely. And the right way to play if you want to win.
Thank you.
Young players, take heed. Take note. Playing the 2 cushion escape. Oh, no, he's playing the pot.
1.
Well, what about that? Incredible. Incredible. Even brings a smile to Graeme.
Yeah, smiling now. If in 2 hours' time it's 5 each, you might not be. Here's the fluke again.
Seven. $40. $15.
Yeah, good shot. But ideally, I'd like to play the cannon to the red nearest the pink. Not easy, this, if you decide to play it. Missed it. Still on the red, but a lot more difficult.
22.
Oh, thought it was in.
David Grace, 22.
Yeah, again, not being able to extend his high break, which is still only 26 this evening. So 29 in it, 43 on.
One.
If he gets the pink, there'll be 36 in it. And look at that, couldn't have landed any better really. Pink needed to win 6-0.
Well, it's apt, isn't it? Because this was the key ball of the whole match, really, in frame 1. David Grace missed it for the first frame. Graeme Dott knocked it in and got on the black. And that really set the tone.
7.
It seems strange to say it about a first frame, but that set the tone. And really, Graeme Dott's been in charge ever since. Would like this red in. It's only 1 snooker at the moment required. So David Grace will feel it's over, but as I say, if the red doesn't go in, you can at least give it a go for the snooker. And then it goes.
8.
Well, Graeme Dott remains a formidable player in any environment, but certainly in terms of world qualifying, he's always so hard to beat. And he's got one more match, of course, to get to the Crucible against either Chris Wakelin or Martin Gould. It's currently 4-4 in that one.
$13.
And there is the countdown, 4.5 days to the start of the final stages of the World Championship at the Crucible, 15 minutes from Sheffield. Of course, in reality, it's been, you can add another 4 months to that. This tournament should have started in April. We know why it didn't. But it's back on, and Graeme Dott, he's back in business in the World Championship. The 2006 World Champion, twice runner-up as well, has got through to the final qualifying round by way of a whitewash. 6-0 over David Grace. As I say, that early blow he landed in the first frame did feel significant. kept the pressure on all night. Highest break 62, played a good match overall, Dott. We'll see him for Judgment Day. He's won by way of a whitewash. So he joins Tepchara Nu and Anthony McGill as this evening's other winners. This is our bubble hotel where we've been all week. And these are the match stats. And as I say, you know, highest break 26. Obviously, that was never going to be enough for David Grace. Graeme Dott, that's 62. That was in frame 3. And as you'd expect, he's on top on all the stats there that count. Just under 90% pot success is pretty respectable. But the main thing is 6-0. He's not going to quibble about the scoreline, is he? That's as good as you can do. These are the scores and results so far. As I say, 3 winners: Dott, Tepchara Nu and Anthony McGill. Chris Wakelin, Martin Gould 4-4. Of course, the winner of that plays Dott. Matthew Stevens was 3-1 down at the interval to Ian Preece. He now leads 5-3. Ricky Walden 4-3 up on Mark Joyce. Mark Davis and Sam Baird 3-3. And Liam Highfield leading Lou Ning 3-2. And the winner of that match plays Tepchara Nu. Tomorrow is the first of 2 judgment days. Matt Selt and Kurt Mafflin are on the main table. We've got Fergal O'Brien against Liang Wenbo, and you can pick out players that you may be wishing the best for there. Maybe you've had a few quid on. That's the first 16 players contesting the first judgment day tomorrow. A few players there can make their Crucible debuts, the likes of Louis Heathcote, Ashley Carty, Eden Sharaf, Alexander Ursenbacher, of course guaranteed one between Martin O'Donnell and Elliot Slesser. So be an interesting day tomorrow, but of course it's been an interesting night. We can hear from Graeme Dott. He's talking to another world champion, Joe Johnson.
Well, Graeme, first of all, well done. Great win. You always look to be in control. Did you feel that?
Not really, if I'm being honest. I was really nervous before that match. It's the first match I've played in 4 months.
Yeah.
A lot of the boys played in the tournament in Milton Keynes, but this was my first outing, so
that's right.
I was a bit concerned. It was only best of 11 as well, so I'm just happy to get it out of the way.
Yeah, now you're in a best of 19, which you must feel more comfortable about.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the first round was the one that I was more concerned about, first to 6, but hopefully that can blow the cobwebs off and I'll play better the next round.
You seem to pot the most important balls that counted. You might not have made many big breaks, but you potted the ones that counted.
Yeah, I think that was probably the main difference. I mean, I don't think Dave cued that bad.
No.
I just think the time that Dave missed, it was always a pressure pot, and I managed to pot all mine, so it's good that that's still there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you play Chris Wakelin in the next round?
I don't know if he's won. Did he win, did he?
As far as I know he did.
Yeah, well, it's a tough match.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it was going to be a tough match regardless. Chris Wakelin or Martin Gould, I mean, they all deserve to be at the Crucible, so it'll be a good match.
Is it too early to think about the Crucible?
It probably is. I mean, it's such a horrible match.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is under more pressure than anybody else. We're all in the same boat, and luckily I've managed to do it the past few years, so hopefully I can win one more match again.
Yeah, well, we wish you the best of luck in the next round, and we look forward to seeing you again. Well done, Graeme.
Yeah, well done to Graeme. I should say Chris Wakelin and Martin Gould are 4 each, so we don't know yet who he's going to play, but it'll be the winner of that match. And, well, I think in this competition, of all competitions, you don't want to play Graeme Dott. I think he's a formidable player in this environment. So that's it for our coverage of the third qualifying round. We've got one more to go. We've got 2 judgment days to decide the 16 qualifiers for the Crucible, and the first of them is tomorrow. It's important to say we start earlier. 1 p.m. is the first session, because now it's best of 19. So do join us at 1 p.m. Tomorrow, where our main match will be Matt Selt against Kurt Mafflin.